Okay, so a pleasant morning to each and everyone. To my colleagues here, again, I'm from the Philippines. Now, the only LGU who's going to present, and it's the other way around because most of the programs and projects are from the non-government agencies, NGOs. So therefore, this is a local government unit. So I'm Rudy de Mesa. I'm from the Philippines, and my project and our project is the Project Duke. We're not talking about billions here. We'll not be talking about millions, but we're talking about small steps. Because for 3 days, we've been talking about the national issues and the issues all over the world. We're talking about figures, but here I'm talking about starting from 1, 2, 3, until it makes a million. So this is a small city. This is the city of Balanga. Cliche as it may seem, but Nelson Mandela was right when he said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Balanga City is the historic province of Bataan, Philippines. It has lived by these words, not only in upholding people empowerment. Yesterday is the people power. That's EDSA revolution. If you knew it in the Philippines, but also not only people power, but also the redefining the direction of the city to be a university town by 2020. Very audacious, very grand vision to become a university town. There is no doubt that great successes started with humble beginnings. With this, I am very much delighted to share to you our bittersweet experiences when a certain program in our city, which started as an acorn of hopes and dreams, grew into a great oak tree and proved that education is a right without boundary. Let's have an overview of the city. Our city is just only a young city. It became a city by the year 2000. So we're only 15 years old as a city. It is a small city. It has only around 11,163 hectares. And it is said that this is a master plan. So as I was saying, it's very small. It has only 11,163 hectares. And the population is just only around 93,000, not even close to 100,000. But it is said to be historic. If you still remember the Death March in World War II, wherein Balanga or Bataan is the last bastion of democracy in Asia. So it is surrounded by a lot of economic zones, such as the Subic in Olongapo and the other one in Clark, as well as the Freeport area of Bataan. So, as we all know, these are all giants. These are all industrial. Our place is just only residential and commercial. A small city wherein we cannot compete with industrial giants like this one. So, thus, we can say that we cannot compete with them. We make it as a sense to approach development with complementation instead of competition. And how may such a complementation strategy be pursued? While our neighbors are focused on heavy industries, the city shall be the stronghold of knowledge by supplying the region and eventually the country and the world with competitively talented workforce that make organizations and industries flies. But as you can see, we are not exempted from the common epic problem of our school or out-of-school children. I say epic because it's a long-time problem, not only of the Philippines, but of the world. Almost all countries are facing this. This cannot be answered by mere technology alone. Looking for more solutions to social problems, not only for the OSCs, but this is just another matter. It will need not only technology, but it will need the heart to combat these problems. Aside from the universal belief that education is the only possible means to solve the impossible, education is further enhanced in the Philippines by Filipino values and legacy, as well as the fundamental law of the land, which provides every Filipino the inherent right to quality education and recognition of the youth as the key to socioeconomic development. Given these premises, it is quite an easy yet challenging task, especially now that the country faces a very crucial problem in the rapid increase of out-of-school youth. Looking at the national scenario, just staring and merely studying, the increasing figures will not result tangible solutions that will arrest this phenomenon. Taken bolder steps are necessary to genuinely foster good team spirit. We have to act together. A triumvirate of the national government with its agencies, non-government organizations, and the Filipino family. Local government units like the city government are the front runners in carrying out this needed transformational change for OSYs. As a laid-back fishing town with largely rural vibe, Balanga has taken strides to lead in cadence the army that will take the bullet to battle ignorance, illiteracy, poverty, and dropping out of school children. Taking a good quick of the facts that confronted Balanga City has 14% increase in OSCs from 412 in 2011 to 5,326. It was really disturbing. Imagine. So on the other hand, Balanga City's dropout showed a remarkable decrease of 34% from school year 2012 to 2013 to the school year 2013 to 2014 at the elementary level, and 3% decrease for high school level at the same school year. So, but our dropout rate is decreasing, but our OSCs is said to be increasing. Balanga City's high percentage increase in OSC was rebutted by an 87% increase in ALS graduate in the elementary level and 324% increase in the secondary level, thus giving our city a distinction of having the highest number of ALS passers in the region for 3 consecutive years. The path to easy access to quality education for all is an old and challenging road to take. But we need a long way. So everybody has to be on board. And we need a transformative journey. In a transformative journey, we have to have a guide. We plan, we choose our companion, we immerse, we rest and reflect, and leave an imprint. We plan. Balanga City has to beat one's brain to contemplate, simulate, and initiate national programs that will resolve the pressing issue of OSCs, both national and local. Through necessary preparation in the right direction, our effort gave birth to Project Duke. Project Duke, a very unique way for us to map out where we are and at this state. Probably you will be amazed what is Project Duke. The program was born out of the thirst of a dog named Duke. That's the name of the dog, Duke. Now Duke wants to learn new tricks. One day, Duke kept on barking on his master. He barks and barks and barks. So the master doesn't know what to do. So the master then took a book and read a story, and suddenly the dog stops barking. So it is said to be a lesson for the master. If it is true with the dog that the dog can be silent once you give them reading materials, much more with that of human beings. That's how the Project Duke started. It started with the master and then with the dog. We have to choose your companions. Committed individuals, like student scholars, serves as our psychologists, therapists, We don't need professional therapists in order for this to come true. Who walked and called upon to take charge of propelling the project forward. They did not feel as mere contributors. These volunteers took ownership of their roles and initiatives in the program. We immersed. We gathered friends who gave us advice on the best routes to take. We engaged proactive individuals, civil society, and even private partners. In fact, we have our beneficiary, the De Guzman Group of Companies. The De Guzman Group of Companies is the owner of the so-called Jollibee in Balanga, the owner of Red Ribbon, and the owner of Greenwich Pizza. So they were the ones who funded the project, and no money coming from the local government. The volunteers are the psychologists and therapists. Next, we rest and reflect. So it involves knowing, accepting oneself, visioning, and we employ reading and storytelling. Storytelling, reading, but it is not to be read by students. It has to be read by a motivational leader, what do you call as a motivational speaker, an invited guest reader. We invite guest reader to read the story. And these guest readers were once outcast. They were once drug addicts. They were once out of the community. But they are known personalities now. From this, it is said that this motivational speaker gave them all the advice as well as their own experiences wherein these students are facing. With this, we are trying to bring back the students in their own determination and ambition to go on with life. This is what we call bibliotherapy. A therapy using reading and literature or books as well as eradicating illiteracy as well. So there are 6 components of what we call Project Duke. So if you're going to look at Project Duke, we have the Readers Club. Next, we have the Learning Center. All barangays have their own learning corner or reading corner, and all of our establishments have reading corner. Camp for skills and character formation, volunteer program for promotion, Right Tree Congress for information and awareness, scholarship assistance. And lastly, we leave an imprint. Reaching our destination through attaining our targets was just enough. What sets Balanga City's Project Duke is, apart from other programs, are the breakthrough results that have made impacts to the lives of the OSY. To date, the Project Duke has its first bark. So we call it as the first bark, our early wins, our quick wins. Now, we are just very young because we started 2014. So our early wins are as follows. Look, these are our graduates. We call the first graduation as out of the box. These students were out of the box after 10 modules or 10 weeks. Now, after this, we were able to monitor them. And out of 44 enrollees, 11 eventually went to alternative learning system. 19 enrolled in TESDA. It's a technical vocational school. Then 8 eventually enrolled in college. 5 eventually enrolled in high school. And 1 finished college. So 100% of them went to school. And this time, they're not only after with the certificate. They're after with that of going on with their ambition. Because these kids went on a certain vacation because they are dropouts before. Now, with the therapy that we were able to give, we bring back the ambition. So once you enter us, we will not only asking for certificate. We will go on with a higher education until we reach the top. The second one is the Project U-Turn. We call it U-Turn because they had to return back to school. So we have this sign double. From 44, it became 86. So all of them, 27, enrolled in ALS. 20 enrolled in TESDA. 17 enrolled in college. And 22 enrolled in high school. This time, they are all. Then, what we are going to do then? This time we will double it. We will make it 100, 200, 500, 400. That's why I told you that it is not a big project yet, but we have a lot of hope. And lastly, this project is the project of the LGU to help DepEd. Because in Balanga, it's not only DepEd who will take care of education. It's the local government unit. So that's why we're talking about collaboration. But it seems that the collaboration that we are talking is just only talking about the NGOs. This time, the front runner should be the government. And we're taking the stride in Balanga. Because Balanga is the only LGU all over the Philippines wherein our vision is primarily education. We are not after economic growth. We are not talking about revenues. We're talking about educating our children. And the lion's share of our revenue is for education. Lastly, we're moving on. So, while Balanga City's current education system has produced some success stories, now we are going on with modernization. That's why we try to have this kind of Balanga Learning Hub. All barangays will be having a barangay learning hub wherein it's equipped with modern facilities, wherein it's open for out-of-school youth because they have no gadgets at home. So we have 25 barangays, and we started it last week. We have one, and this time, a lot of donors gave a lot of gadgets now. We are now having the second hub and the second week until we reach the 25 barangays. And we are talking about Microsoft. This time, we are using the Khan Academy now. The Khan Academy, or the K-Lite, is an offline app wherein it's used by the OSY in Balanga City. So, it is said that it's easy to make a fire, but to keep the flame burning is another story. Now that Balanga has already ignited the spark to address little by little its populist needs, the government earnestly looks forward to finally concretize its vision of achieving a world-class society for the people, of the people, by the people. Maraming salamat po. And mabuhay po tayong lahat. Thank you. From the Philippines, a small city, but doing its own stride, because we are not only after with a budget from the national government, we have to be independent and we have to ready for it, because the national government has no enough budget. If that will be the case, all LGU will just be dependent on the national government. So all LGUs, we are encouraging them to be independent for us to make education really a reality for all in the near future. That's all. Mabuhay. Maraming salamat. Thank you.